Hey everybody, Frank here with a review of Kamen Rider Zero-One issue 4. This is the final issue in the comic series that Stonebot Manga and Titan Comics has brought us. So far it has really been a fun run. These comics have been filled with great art, really cool story. It follows Aruto, who is the Kamen Rider Zero-One, and we also see Yua Yaiba and Isamu Fuwa as Vulcan and Valkyrie riders, and we also see Izu as throughout this whole series, never leaving Aruto's side, Zero-One, and our main villain is Ragnarok, who is out to destroy the Kamen Riders completely. Last we left off, Ragnarok had gotten the 1000 key, which is the progress key. Kamen Riders use progress keys to change to all different types of forms, get different abilities, and this progress key gave Ragnarok the abilities of all the Kamen Riders that there are. So it was just Zero-One, Aruto, and Izu at this hidden lab on Mount Fuji fighting Ragnarok, and there's explosions going on throughout the woods and forests around Mount Fuji, and Aruto is putting up a good fight and holding his own against Ragnarok, even though he's extremely overpowered right now. And then it looks like Aruto's in a tough situation and he's about to get taken out, and Yua and Isamu show up. They begin shooting at Ragnarok and quickly transform into Vulcan and Valkyrie riders. They join the fight, and they threaten Aruto, saying they're going to arrest him because throughout this series they're like treating Aruto like a child. He's a comedian that inherited this role, and they're like two officers of the law, and they say that once they take care of Ragnarok, they're going to be arresting Aruto for all the damage that he's caused the last few days fighting Ragnarok, and that he's been careless. And he really hasn't been. He's not really responsible completely for the damages. I mean, Ragnarok was so overpowered. Aruto never knew when he was going to show up. So they just kind of have blinders on and just see a comedian, a failed comedian that inherited this suit, and they kind of don't like it that he's gotten this. They come up with a plan. Last issue they figured out Ragnarok's has a weakness to magnetic fields, so Izu says we're going to lure him to a power plant and we're going to overload it to cause a magnetic pulse to destroy him. Vulcan and Valkyrie, after they realize they can't take him down by themselves, agree to the plans, and they're like, listen, he's too strong, we can't even outrun this guy. So Izu calls in hoppers, and she gets hopper cycles for all three of them. They all have these custom cycles. They look really cool. Each of them has a cycle that matches their suit. It's seen for an extremely small sequence. They right away, Ragnarok chases them, and more special forces meet Ragnarok, begin shooting at him, and he just blows up their van. And they drive away, and Aruto keeps going on to the power plant while Vulcan and Valkyrie plan on stopping Ragnarok, or at least delaying him to buy Zero-One some time to get to that plant to set the trap. So they get to the plant, and they really don't have a lot of time. They say Ragnarok's only 20 seconds away, wrong, 15 seconds away. So Izu runs in to begin overloading the plant and gives Aruto Zero-One the great giant breaking behemoth key, and he summons cool breaking behemoth suit that we really don't see a lot of action. And you see it come down, he puts it on and punches Ragnarok like once, and then he uses the suit to slam down Ragnarok and kind of like ejects from the suit. And he's like, listen, this is it, I've had enough of this fighting and destruction, and your mission is to eliminate the Kamen Riders. I'm going to take off my driver, and I'm not a rider anymore. I'm just me. Are you going to become a murderer and just murder a regular guy? And Ragnarok kind of gets annoyed for a minute and like hesitates, like, this is like outside of my mission. This isn't what I'm supposed to do. And he just gets frustrated and goes to punch him. But Aruda really lures him into the electromagnetic field, and Izu overloads it, and Ragnarok gets hit with the pulse, begins to freak out, looks like he's going to attack Aruda again, and then he just disintegrates. And then Vulcan and Valkyrie show up. They're like, listen, we're going to take his remains away, but this isn't quite the end. Aruda throws another bad joke at him. He goes, hey, I've got a question for you. How do you make a waterbed bounce? Add spring water. Another bad joke. Yeah, and they're like just so poorly delivered too. Like there's no good way to like say them smoothly. Like he just yells these jokes out like with no timing or anything. And then we get a little like overview of these two guys. I really don't know who they are. Jin is one of them, and Harobi, I don't know if they're from the series. It kind of leaves it open for a continuation, that like they have more planned. Like this was just a test run of Zero-One's abilities. Really enjoy the comic. Definitely going to be watching the TV series. Oh, I had no clue this was a variant cover. That's a really good looking cover. I really like the standard. This is what I have is actually the A cover, and it looks awesome. But they had some awesome covers for the series. The art, the colors were extremely well done. I'm not sure if the colorist was the same one on every issue. I think it was Bryan Valenza. At this point, if you're watching this, I read this comic book really late. I've had them for months, just kind of in my backlog. And the trade paperback should be out any day now if you're watching this video. I believe it's coming out September 9th. I will put the definite date at the bottom of this video in the description. The pre-orders are up, and if it's not out already, you can pre-order it. But if this video is out a little late, you will be able to get that pre-ordered. At the end of this book, it does say the pre-order, its on sale date is August 23rd, but I believe that's been moved to September 9th. I want to say it's the 9th. I'm not sure off the top of my head right now. But this is what the trade paperback's going to look like. If you haven't picked up the issues individually, I highly recommend getting the trade paperback. And yeah, enjoy the series. If they do a second run of this, and it is another 4 issues, I honestly think I may just hold out for the trade paperback volume 2 if they do a volume 2 trade paperback. There was only 4 issues. They were all quick reads. But just for the space saving, I think the trade paperback would be better for me next time around. But let me know what you guys think of this series. Are you familiar with Kamen Rider Zero-One? Have you watched the TV series? Is this a prequel? Is this a sequel? I personally did not do a ton of research on this. I'm going to admit that right off the bat. I've only seen Amazon's Shin Kamen Rider, and I've started watching Kamen Rider Black. I have not got to Zero-One yet, but I might skip forward to that and start watching that now. Thanks for watching, guys.